So Taoist religion is quite different from Taoist philosophy, in my opinion, although some scholars found some similarities. One Chinese scholar suggested that the basis, the foundation of Taoist thinking is the preservation of life. And this Chinese thinker of the 20th century believed that Taoism, as a philosophy of life, was created by hermits, people who withdrew from society and who were trying to develop some practices, exercises to preserve life. And from this kind of approach, there is only one step to the main goal of Taoist religion, which is personal immortality, physical immortality. So the main goal of Taoism as a religion is physical immortality. And as a religion, Taoism was created, developed in the first century of the Christian era as a response to Buddhism, because Buddhism was seen as a foreign influence, as a foreign threat to traditional Chinese culture. So Buddhism, by the first century of the Christian era, was well organized as a religion, with its organization, Sangha, the community of the monks, with its scriptures, the Tripitaka, with its rituals that were focused on meditation. So Taoism slowly developed its own religious features, namely rituals, gods, and gods, by the way, came from traditional Chinese religions, were connected with politics. So rituals, gods, and of course Taoism already had a scriptural text, Tao Te Ching, and people started writing commentaries on Tao Te Ching. Not only philosophical, but religious. The Tao Te Ching became a scriptural text. So for religious Taoism, I have two examples for you. One is this Red Pagoda, which is a 12-story Taoist temple built in the 18th century on the northern bank of Yangtze River. I've been there, and since I'm interested in those kind of things, I went there in order to see it, in order to make some photos, because this, frankly, is the only Taoist temple I have seen. It is extremely impressive. As you see, 56-meter high. One of the gems of Chinese architecture, which was built without nails. The Shibaozhai literally means the stone treasure fortress. So why do I see those strange green lines? Okay, someone is doing this. I'm not doing this. So moving forward. In order to get to this Red Pagoda, you have to go through the suspension bridge. This is the entrance into the suspension bridge, because the river separates the town from the temple, and the bridge is suspended. Therefore, when you walk on this bridge, it is not stable at all, and you feel like it may go down anytime. Look how long the bridge is. So after you cross the bridge, you find yourself at the entrance to the pagoda. So the temple structure consists of gateway, tower body, and the top temple, Tianzi Palace. So Tianzi Palace is our ultimate goal, because this is the Taoist part of the structure. The pagoda itself is a temple that is half Buddhist, half Taoist, which is quite normal for Eastern temples, because in the East, in Asia, you don't have to be either Taoist or Buddhist or Confucianist. You can be both, or you can belong to all three religions. You can be Taoist and Buddhist and Confucianist. So therefore, there is no division into religion. this is simply an example of compartmentalization of the religion. So this is the tall yellow entrance gate, which is decorated with lions and dragons, and etched with an inscription invites the visitor to ascend into a little fairyland. By the way, you ascend by taking steps. This is a staircase, and there is no way out. The way out is different. So when you go from level to level, you see Bodhisattva statues. We did not discuss Mahayana Buddhism yet, but Bodhisattva means being of wisdom, and Bodhisattva is an enlightened person in Mahayana Buddhism. China accepted Buddhism in its Mahayana form. So this is a tribute to the leaders of Mahayana Buddhism in China. Even further or higher, you see the tribute to military leaders. This is a tribute to legendary general. And on top of this structure, there is this entrance to the Yangtze Palace. This will be our Daoist palace. In one of the rooms, in this Red Pagoda, you see the Jade Emperor. This is the supreme ruler of heavens and the protector of humankind, according to Chinese folklore religion. So Daoism simply accommodated or involved those deities from Chinese folklore religion and made them their own deities. So this is the highest ranking deity of the Daoist pantheon. From the 9th century onwards, the Jade Emperor was the patron deity of the Chinese imperial family. He is presiding over heaven and earth, just as the earthly emperors once ruled China. And of course, as every emperor, he has the queen, his wife. This is the Queen of Heaven, and this is the room that is dedicated to the Queen of Heaven. Now, right near the Queen of Heaven, around the Queen of Heaven, you see various female figures, her servants. And in another room, you see the so-called statues of immortals. As I said, the main goal of Daoism as a religion is physical immortality. So some legendary beings who have achieved the ultimate goal of Daoism. Everything is very beautiful and colorful and very well preserved. These are statues of various deities that are in charge of various human activities. Now, overall, my personal impression was that Daoism was converted into a sort of pagan religion in which you have various deities like in all pagan religions, and you don't see any indication of really Daoist philosophy. That's why personally I was slightly disappointed.